God damn. Look at that quality. Look at that quality. I told you. Told you. I told you. Woo! Look at those. Look at this. Oh, look at all my pores. Look at my pimple. Oh, you can see it in 4K now. That is mwah, beautiful. Um, so it's been a little bit since I've just done a talking video. But I since it's Halloween time, I wanted to just share some stories of things that have happened to me that are paranormal. Unexplainable. That's the word I prefer using. I prefer using unexplainable instead of paranormal because when people hear paranormal, they're like, ooh. But when people hear unexplainable, they're like, ooh. So, and I'm gonna do multiple because there's not really a story to these things. It's just things that have happened to me that I'm like, and I love this is the kind of stuff I love consuming. So I'm like, I'm gonna share because I've had some weird stuff happen to me. Um, so the first one that comes to mind is there was this time. This was I. This had to have just been a few years ago, but I live next to a field. I live like no neighbors, just living next to a field. I remember I was just like it was late at night and I remember I walked outside and I was kind of doing that dad thing. I'm just like I don't know. I don't do that. I don't know what I was doing that night. I was just like, ugh, nice summer night. I I don't do that often. I just did it that one night apparently. But I and it was a really windy night. And I was like, ooh, it's a windy night. So I remember I I was just like looking on the field, and there's trees there's trees in these fields as well. So I was like, and those trees were like blowing all over the place, except for this one spot. There was this one spot, and and this is to my left, and this had to have been like maybe like 30, 40 feet away up from me. And I was just like looking in this one spot of like everything else is like moving around because it's windy out, but this one spot there's nothing. It's not moving at all, like not one single bit of it. It's as if like there's something there blocking it, and I'm looking at it and I'm like, that's weird. I mean, but I was like, there had to have been an explanation to it, and I was like, but I just kept looking at it, and I was like, and it was as if like, and like that you get that gut feeling. It was like, it felt like whatever was there, whatever I was looking at, it was like it felt like there was something there, like there was something blocking it. There was like it felt like there was like I just had this gut feeling, and I was just like, that's weird. And like that's it. That's really it. But it was so weird. Like everything else, it was like really windy that night. But I was like, this one patch of like, I don't know, this like 20 feet radius of like this like spot didn't move. It didn't, and there probably is explanation to it. I don't know. Science is never my thing, so there probably is an explanation to, but I was just like, man, that is weird. I've never seen that before. And that's it. That's basically it. There's no like ending to it, but I was just like, huh, that's weird. Yeah. I mean, it could have been a UFO. It could have been a UFO. I'm not one to, I don't know. But it was just weird. Very weird. This other time, this one kind of funny because not funny, but I felt really bad after this. But like I remember I was just going out. It was like late at night again. Man, listen, I'm not a night owl, all right, and I'm not a dad, but like I don't know, I just like get up in the middle of the night. I was getting some water, but I just got up and I just like and I was just like. A part of me always like wants to. A part of me is like, because I'm so fascinated by the paranormal or the unsolved mysteries, and I'm just like, and that I just like I kind of like I kind of like I want something to happen because it's I don't know it's like I'm probably cursed, like there's probably gonna be a demon like in my life, but like I remember I just like I was in my dining room and I just like knocked on the wall, like I just was like just just out of like I was like ooh, and wouldn't you know I heard. Not joking. I'm not joking. I'm not joking. Maybe it was my mind playing tricks on me, but I heard 3 fucking knocks back to me. Not joking. It could have been my mind playing tricks on me. I don't know, but that's what I heard. That is what I heard. I heard 3 knocks knocking back at me. That's what I heard. I'm not making this up. I'm not making this up. The reason I felt bad was because my friend at the time, this was back when I was in like, I was like a freshman in high school, I think, and I was like, I remember we were on FaceTime, and I just remember being like, yeah, this weird thing happened to me, and like, that really freaked him out, and like, apparently he like couldn't sleep for weeks, and I was like, oh God, I'm so sorry. I could have easily been like hallucinating or whatever, but I was like, oh God, I'm evil. I'm evil. I suck. Yeah, again, I don't know. There could be someone just living at walls. Kind of convinced that there is, but story for another day. Another thing, when you're a kid, like your imagination is just everywhere. Like that's what I love about, like, that's what I miss about being a kid. Is just like, and I still like to believe I have a pretty big imagination. I like to think of myself as a creative person, and like that's not me boasting or being arrogant, but I like expressing myself creatively. But I remember as a kid, like I was just always in my head as a kid. I was always just like, just like imagining things because won't get into that. Like to imagine things, but there was this one time I was in my room. And well, no, not one time. There was multiple times where I just like I saw, and like I don't have sleep paralysis. I've never had sleep paralysis, and this wasn't like a case of it. It was just like I remember just laying in bed when I was a kid, and this happened all the time. And I would see these like shadowy figures in my room. I could like, and like I remember just like having I remember as a kid just like having so much anxiety and so much like I would literally like it just like but it was so normal. It was so normal. I was like when it was time for bed, it was just like fuck, because it was just like, what, like, and that's like when you like your imagination, like when it's like completely like pitch black, your imagination goes crazy. So I'm seeing these like they were like big motherfuckers. They were like big shadowy like figures, human figures, like it had the figure of a human, but big shadowy just like figures standing in the corner. And I'm like, I think I remember this one time, like I just like I think I got up one time and I reached out of like pretty brave, honestly, pretty brave as a kid. Maybe I didn't do that, but like I liked it. I think I remember just like, and there was nothing there. But like I just like remember seeing these like shadowy figures, and they didn't do anything. But like man, I just like I was like, I've never had that sense. I've never had like shadowy figures like pop up in my like when I'm getting ready to sleep. But I'm like, man. It's just like I can't imagine. Like I'm like thinking back, I'm like, man, I just feel bad because I remember just having so much anxiety and like I couldn't sleep, and I just thought that was so normal. I was like, these time for bed, these goddamn, what are these people doing in my room? I thought it was so normal. I was like, but now it's like, I can't imagine just like sleeping, and I can't imagine because it's like now I'm just like. It's just like it's crazy. Yeah, but yeah. I've had other things. I've talked about the scariest thing that's ever happened to me, That wasn't paranormal. That wasn't unexplainable. That was just someone who tried to break into my house. That was terrifying. I find that more terrifying than anything paranormal. But yeah, that's what comes to mind right now. Is just like it's just it's I. But I love it. I love it. I love not. I don't love it happening to me, and I don't love. I know it's probably traumatizing to hear it happen to other people, but I love just like that. Like I love researching into like cryptids and just like these like unexplainable like things that happen. Like and like that's why I like to always keep an open mind to these things. If it's like Bigfoot and like like all these other cryptids of like you don't know. We don't know half the stuff that's in our ocean or universe. What's to say there isn't like this like there aren't these like I'm not saying I'm not just saying cryptids. I'm just saying these unexplainable things. It's like I like to keep an open mind. You never know. You never know. I'm not saying I firmly believe it, but I'm just saying like I don't know. I don't know. It's unexplainable. That's why it's interesting. Is it like, and is there probably a rational explanation to these things? Sure, probably, but it's also just like, it's when it's so weird and so like, it's just like, I don't know. I don't know. It's like, it's just like, you don't know. It's like, I don't know. It's just weird. It's unexplainable, and that's what makes it interesting, and that's why I love it. I love like researching into these things. But yeah, that's gonna be it for me. There's definitely, actually, I have a camera, and it's good quality, and there's nothing behind me besides my vacuum that's definitely not haunted. But yeah, that's gonna do for me. Thank you everybody so much for watching. Thank you for your patience. I know videos have been very lackluster lately. It's gonna get better though. I'm gonna get back on track. I will. But yeah, thank you everybody so much for watching. Yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.